This is extremely good news for Vancouver as we get a huge update from an NHL insider revealing the future of a fan favorite with the Vancouver Canucks. But not only that, we get a huge draft update revealing the Vancouver Canucks top target. We're going to break down everything you need to know on Conor Garland going into his final year of his contract and on this prospect, Braeden Cootes, and how he's the perfect fit for the Canucks at pick number 15. We're going to break down all this and more later on this episode. Before we get into that, if you haven't hit that sub button yet, we're trying to reach our goal of 7,500 subscribers. So if you're enjoying this daily content, make sure to go down and hit that free subscribe button. It helps us out a bunch. And in return, we'll give you updates from all around the Canucks. But with that, let's just hop straight into the prospect today, where we did get a mock of the 2025 draft. I'm going to link this down below. It's a great read, linking teams to every pick going into the first round. Now, the first thing we do see at pick number 15, they do project the Vancouver Canucks to draft Braeden Cootes of the Seattle Thunderbirds. Cootes gives you a little bit of everything, and I could see the Vancouver fans being reminded some of Bo Horvat. Cootes has been a true two-way value, and his production wasn't spectacular in WHL this season. He does have skills that make me think he can be a top 6 center at the next level, likely a number 2. Now, the big thing is, if you ask any Canucks fans, us, me, anyone at all, we know a number 2 center, and yes, Cootes is not going to slide in as a number 2 center going into next season, but developing him into that role would be the perfect solution for the Canucks as they desperately look to fill the void. Cootes is a player that we're going to break down, but he has a high work ethic, and the biggest thing is 26 goals, 63 points, still a very productive season, over a point per game, 8 points in 6 games in the playoffs, 5'11". We do know he does have to build a bit of a bigger frame, but Cootes is someone, a right-handed center, that does fill the void for the Canucks that do lack at center depth when it comes to young prospects. I mean, Aatu Räty looks great and will probably join this Canucks team. We know right now on the main roster of PD, you have Filip Hronek and Teddy Blueger, but the big thing is you need to continue growing this depth, and this is where Cootes could come in perfectly. Now, the big thing with Cootes, we're going to look down some people's breakdowns. Cootes brings energy, versatility, and smarts every shift. Quick, fluid skater with strong motor, smart off puck plays, relentless forechecker, power play, and penalty kill upside. Plug-and-play value with a real top 6 potential, but it doesn't stop there. Where we do see from NHL prospect evaluations, Cootes is a dynamic, high-energy center with a relentless motor and an aggressive style of play. His ability to combine speed, puck skill, strong hockey IQ, you can read through this. He plays a full 200-foot game. Seeing Cootes being regarded as this hard of a work ethic and a hard-working forechecker is great to see coming from such a young prospect that the Canucks do have the chance to draft at pick number 15, but we've already covered Cootes so much. We've covered so many people. What does your guys think? Thoughts on the ideal center or the ideal prospect the Canucks should go out and get with pick number 15? Is it Cootes? Is it someone we haven't touched on? Go ahead and leave a comment below because the draft is coming up very soon and we'll cover any prospects you guys want us to. But talking on forwards, we do know the Canucks do have 2 big names that have to be re-signed. Brock Boeser has been linked to everyone but the Canucks. Pius Suter has been reportedly re-engaging in talks with the Canucks. We can see a couple guys that are set to hit UFA status when you go into the 26-27 season. But we do get reports from Elliotte Friedman and Dave Pagnotta, and this is extremely good news for Canucks fans. I'm loving this myself, where we do see Elliotte Friedman on 32 Thoughts. I expect Vancouver to investigate an extension with Conor Garland. He is eligible on July 1st. Now, Conor Garland is a huge part of this Canucks team, one of the most consistent players on this Canucks team for the past couple of seasons. And if you continue on to David Pagnotta, he does say the 2 sides are expected to begin extension talks in the near future. He's entering the final year of his contract, and I'm told he is very interested in staying beyond his current deal. Now, seeing this coming from David Pagnotta, seeing that Conor Garland is reportedly very likely and wanting to stay with the Canucks, this does give some optimism. We see the reports that players do not want to come to Vancouver because of the culture, but I do think that's a load of, I'm not going to say the word, but we do know Conor Garland is a big part. Players look up to him, fans love him. He's been a huge part of this team when he gets nice and low in front of the net, holding his stick. Everything he does, his work ethic, kind of like Cootes, is exactly what you want out of a player, and Conor Garland has been very good. Now, the big thing is, looking at Scotia stats, we can see some projections on Conor Garland. Scotia stat has him just over $7 million on a 5-year deal. Conor Garland, 81 games played last year, 19 goals, 31 assists for 50 points. The big thing is, yes, $7 million does seem like a lot, but with the cap slowly rising or soon to be jumping up, this is a contract that will look very good in 2 to 3 years. When the cap rises at almost $15 million, you're with Conor Garland only getting paid $7 million. It's going to be a situation where we're going to have to start looking at the percentage of the cap and not the current deals, because this is looking like it will skyrocket. Chris Johnson, we've seen this quite some time ago, that they are forecasting a significant salary jump in the ceiling. We do see $88 million in the coming years, 95.5 going into next season, 104 the season after, all the way up to 113.5 million. This is where Conor Garland's contract will start to very much kick in and look like an absolute steal. Yes, there is a lot of guys, if I can find the screenshot, that you do need to sign next season. Yes, Conor Garland is looking like an extension. Teddy Blueger and Kiefer Sherwood are going to be primed for an extension as well. We see some guys locked up for quite some time, or guys like Dakota Joshua that still have 2 years left. But with the Canucks actively looking to keep competitive, keeping Quinn Hughes happy, this is where Conor Garland can come in, and I do think with the cap rising, that $7 million is going to look like an absolute steal for this team if they can secure him on this or a cheaper contract. The big thing with Garland, yes, he might not go out and put up an 80-point season every year, but when looking at the Canucks over the past couple of seasons, 200 plus games played, we can see Conor Garland is 5th on the Canucks in total points during that span, 143, just shy of Brock Boeser. We can see JT Miller, which we're not going to touch on in this episode, Elias Pettersson and Quinn Hughes all above him, Kuzmenko, Filip Hronek, and Puster. Hopefully Puce gets signed as well. But Conor Garland has been very consistent with the Canucks. We see 56 goals over that span. We know he can put up points. We know he can be a pest, and this is the exact piece the Vancouver Canucks need to continue adding to the team or keeping on their team, so they're not stuck in the situation like they are this season where they're losing key guys. But I do very much feel like with Conor Garland, with the reports coming out, it's only a matter of time, not if, but when he extends on this team. And what do you think the ideal contract could be? Because in my opinion, yes, looking at this, $7 million does sound like a lot in the current moment, but with it going up, I think this is a steal. You can get him for a shorter deal, but the AAV is going to continue rising up as you go through. Maybe you continue on to an even longer term contract in order to keep Conor Garland on this team, to keep a low cap hit. I mean, almost 20 goals for 31 assists for 50 total points. We've seen how well he played with Dakota Joshua just last season. Maybe that chemistry gets reunited. Maybe him, Dakota Joshua, and Filip Hronek becomes that new second line where we do see them start to dominate. But what are your guys' thoughts on this? What are your thoughts on Conor Garland? Would you give him a $7 million contract? Or do you think the Canucks should go for maybe a little shorter term on this, or maybe longer to drop the AV? What is your thoughts on Cootes as well? What is your thoughts on the mocks? We have Cootes at number 15. We see a lot of guys linked to the Canucks at 15, and I do think they're going to end up either trading this pick, which might hurt them in the long run. But I do think if the Canucks keep pick number 15 and go into this draft, there is a possibility of getting a huge steal at 15, as we're seeing some guys jump in because of recent play, but that's going to push down a lot of guys that should have went in the top 10 further back in the draft. But what's your guys' thoughts on this? There's a lot to take in. If you made it this far, make sure you're going to hit that subscribe button. We're just 12 away. If you haven't hit it and you made it this far, hit that subscribe button. But with that, I've been your host, Mark Pye. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. But that'd be it for this episode, so keep your eye out for the next one. But my name is Mark Pye, and take care.